Now this one here, it's a relatively, well, I would say relatively minor enhancement, but it comes in really handy if you're doing indexed 5-axis operations. So you see this part over here on the right. We do some index machining, and each one of the setups here is an indexed position in 5-axis. So what we've added is the ability to recalculate the angles that the tool would take in order to get from each of these fixed positions. And we added that without the need to recalculate the entire machining job.
So a quick clarification, I think Don said tool, but it's really the machine tool. The angles, the axis angles of the machine tool is what he's talking about. And that happens, the reason we would need that is if you reorder the operations inside of a setup, the machine angles are not automatically recomputed because they're computed only when you do the simulation of the toolpath. But when you post it, if the machine angles are incorrect from the previous, incorrectly inherited from the previous operation, you might have a problem because the tool might collide with something along the way. So that's why we've added this enhancement to make sure that the angles are all coherent going from one operation to another.
As they appear in the machining job, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Touched upon this briefly. The reason we do the recalculate angles is if the user had changed the order of operations. It's not necessarily for setups, even if you had just one setup and you had multiple operations in it, and you had changed the order of the operations by dragging and dropping, let's say, and if you didn't want to redo the simulations once you reordered the toolpaths, then you had a problem because the 5-axis machine angles were all based on where the previous operation had left off. So imagine this: if you're machining something and then you retract from the last toolpath position on an operation, in 5-axis mode, the angles of the machine tool will be on a certain configuration. And then if you want to start the next operation, then the next operation needs to understand where the machine tool angles were set at at the end of the previous operation. So if this is not done correctly, then you might have some random transfer moves going from the previous operation to the next operation. And so this, when the user redoes this recalculate angles, it'll redo all of the machine tool angles independent of the simulation and bring them all in line so you don't have any of these random transfer moves between operations in the event of any reordering that you had done. So it might always been a good idea to do this because you might have done some editing that you'd forgotten about or not aware of. So and this was based on user requests. So this is an important enhancement for 5-axis customers. Excuse me.
Yeah, and previously you had to I guess you had to regenerate all of your operations if you moved them around, right? You had to regenerate them in order to recalculate.
Resimulate them. So because the simulation is what computed the angles, the kinematics of the machine.
Oh, okay, okay. So now you don't have to do all that. You can, if you want to move them around, you can recalculate it just by selecting this option here. Okay.